We're already starting this trip off with a bang. I booked this parking lot and online it said that they had a shuttle, and then I got here and the guy was like, oh, I don't have a shuttle for you, you're gonna have to find your own. Oh! Currently waiting on an Uber to come because WTF. He'll be here in 12 minutes, so I'm gonna sit outside of a random hotel in the dark at 4 in the morning for 12 minutes. Also, I spilled grape soda in my car on the way here because I needed something to keep me awake, and I left the bottle open because I can't open bottles and drive at the same time. So that was a sad moment. I literally had to pull over to clean it up. Also, I have to use the bathroom. Debrief yesterday. This trip to New York is very different from ones in the past, and it's so different to the point where I don't know, this might be it. I'm talking low because the Airbnb I booked is a room in someone's home, and I think they're asleep. I flew into Newark, New Jersey. And the flight was actually one of the smoothest flights that I've ever had. So that was fantastic. I started watching Eternity, which I'm gonna finish on the flight back. Once I got to Newark, it just went downhill. I had no idea that there was a Yankees game yesterday. There was also the subway system was skipping stops. Every single train was skipping stops, and so I spent a large portion of yesterday just trying to make it to a destination. I went from the plane to the AirTran, from the AirTran to the Amtrak. I was really excited to ride the Amtrak because I had never been on one before, and it was something that I put on my vision board, and I was ready to count yesterday's trip on the Amtrak as me riding the Amtrak for my vision board. No, I'm not counting that because I couldn't breathe. It was so packed. I could not breathe. People were fighting to get in. They had to move on to other cars, or they simply had to wait until the next train came that got into New York because it was so jam-packed. And I felt bad because I have this big old suitcase, but I could not breathe. It was not an enjoyable, great experience. I was standing the whole time. It wasn't great. I leave Penn Station. I think I got on 4 or 5 different subways yesterday. And normally I do really, really great with the subway system. Truly, you normally wouldn't be able to tell that I am not from here. And because my luck is just as amazing as it is, every single subway I got on was at a street that was being skipped. I had an appointment to get my aura read, which we'll talk about that in a second. And so that's when I got frustrated, and I was starting to get really, really pissed off because I was not going to make my appointment. I made my appointment for 12:30. What do you mean I have been sitting here trying to figure out this situation and the correct subway to get on and all of this jazz? I've been sitting here figuring it out for 2.5 hours. But not only was I trying to figure out the correct way to get on, when a subway showed up going in the right direction, I couldn't get on it because of the Yankees fans. It was so full and so stuffed, I could not get on the subway. So then I get on a D train. I just got on a D train and I was like, I think I finally figured it out. Because I do genuinely know the system. I got on the D train, we went 2 stops, and I realized I got on the wrong train again. I was going north. But I hit a point of being so over it that I was like, we're just gonna ride this sucker out. So I stayed on the train until we basically got to the Bronx. And then I did something that a lot of people just would not approve of. I talked to a stranger. And he helped me. And now we're like strong acquaintances, if not regular acquaintances. Like, I have his phone number. We had lunch together. I think it was like the turning point of the day for me yesterday, because I was freaking out that I just was going to be spending the whole day trying to get to a destination. But it turns out I just needed to meet him. So there was 3 things I wanted to do yesterday. One of them I didn't get to do, which was go to the High Line and just kind of explore the area, since I will be at the Javits Center today for Bookcon. That's also why I'm here, by the way. I'm here for Bookcon. But I repaid for my Aura experience. I know that's like absolutely insane, but I just was very, very interested in what this was. This is me. This is me. I'm also happy that the blue is super saturated and covers the very ugly picture I took. The blue, it kind of represents intuition, calm, presence, clarity, emotional wisdom, and the green is like all about like heart energy and like abundance. And they were explaining with the way that it's split, the blue is kind of what I exude and release, and the green is what I take in. She's saying that there's a lot of like abundance that is coming my way, which, girl, I need it, so I'm okay with that. But then she was also saying with that, there's a lot of I'm giving up and showing a lot of compassion, and like I'm showing a lot of like calmness for other people, to the point where it might be too much, and to the point where I need to maybe save some of it for myself and save some of the compassion for myself. She was saying that like where my physical self is like green in this picture, that it shows that I have a lot of heart and that I make a lot of decisions with my heart. But with that being said, even though that calmness and clarity is taking over me, it's still more of, it's like not enough, if that makes sense. And it's more of I need to let it. And then that little bit of purple kind of shows like empathy, but because the purple is like jagged and there's a little bit of it, she said it was showing more of like anxiety and stress. And considering I did this after the day of like fighting the subway system and Yankee fans, that anxiety and stress makes sense. She was actually expecting more of it, and I was expecting more of it too. But I mean, listen, that building was super calming. I didn't feel comfortable filming in there because there was me and like 4 other girls at every time possible, and I had this giant suitcase, so I was like, we're not gonna do that. It's a very intimate space. And then there's like a little strip of white at the top, and she said it means that someone is like looking down on me and guiding me through as I work on giving too much of myself and showing up more for other people than I show up for myself. And I feel like I've talked about it on the podcast a little bit, maybe how I am trying to show up for myself a little bit more, hence me drawing boundaries at my job. And it's called Love Letter because as you wait for your aura reading to develop, so like this picture, which I'm gonna dress so much better next time and just look better and smile and just do better, but you write a letter either to the place, someone you love, yourself. I chose to write a letter to myself. Granted, the fact that I did it yesterday and I don't remember, I'm very excited to get it. I think she said they mail it out in a month, so I'm excited to see what I wrote because I don't remember. I'm hoping that today is better, and definitely we're in New York. We are in New York for sure.
Yeah, ain't nowhere we could be if 2 or 3 don't agree. If you and me don't evolve, yeah, you and me don't evolve, yeah. Ain't no plans out of sight, ain't no talk back or fight. If you and me ain't involved, yeah, you and me me ain't evolved, yeah, yeah. How you gon' say that? Girl, I don't play that. I ain't gon' lay back. What you want, come my life? Yeah, you know, girl, we go way back, yeah. How you gon' say that I'm the one at fault? When we both involved, cause ain't nowhere we could be. If 2 or 3 don't agree. If you and me don't evolve, yeah. You and me don't evolve, yeah. Ain't no plans out of sight. Ain't no talk back or fight. If you and me ain't involved, yeah. You and me ain't involved, yeah, yeah. Steady switching plays, yeah. Steady switch. I've been in the dirt, yeah, dipping the hurt. Digging through baggage, feeling like merch. All of this drama ain't even worth. Hey, girl, you know I love you. How you gon' say that? Girl, I don't play that.
All right, please welcome to the stage, Makeup! Robin Lee! Emily St. John Mandel! And Andy Weir!
Se quedó grabado en mi mente el último amanecer. Savored every angle like it was cinema. No planes, enamorarme. Un misterio cuando te encontré. Una peli cuando te pones al revés. Dale replay pa' yo verlo otra vez. Pa' yo verlo otra vez, pa' yo verte otra vez, Atrapado en el momento. Quiero más que un cuento. A vivirlo otra vez.
I had never been to a convention before, so Bookcon was my first experience, and I had like no expectations. I just knew that conventions tend to be crowded, and it is what it is. I made my own error. I wore a sweater because I knew that it's supposed to be cold and raining outside. I wasn't entirely sure what the temperature is going to be inside the building, but then I also knew that I was going to go to a Broadway show afterwards, like straight afterwards, and that, you know, gets out at night. So I was just like thinking of like the weather and how cold the theaters tend to be. Like that was my thought process. So I wore a sweater. Within like 15 minutes of getting into the building, I was overstimulated. I get really pissed off with like crowds. Like, it's just like one of those things where I feel like people just stand around if they don't know what they're doing. And so I feel bad with that. That's like when I am probably my most impatient, and I mean, it is what it is. I am a human, but I didn't get angry. Like, honestly, I only just got hot. Literally, the only reason that I was upset is because I wanted to meet Kimmy Books so bad. And apparently Eden was there too. Like, I didn't get like, well, I didn't really get footage of anything because I was truly just trying to like not contribute to other people being upset, because I think a lot of, I mean, I don't know, but I think a lot of people like had expectations for Bookcon, and so when they realized it wasn't what it was or what they expected, that's kind of where all this negativity and like discourse kind of comes. But like I put on threads, I mean, yeah, I got hot, and yeah, the food situation pissed me off. We'll get there in 2 seconds, but I had zero expectations, and because I had no expectations, I don't know, it like wasn't that bad in my opinion. That car agrees. So then it was time for a panel. It was my first panel ever, and it was a cuddle up and cozy panel. The whole conversation, they kept saying like cozy fantasy, but I mean, we had romance, we had cozy murder, so it was very interesting. There's BK Borison and Sarah Beth Durst, who I definitely knew. There was someone named Jill, one of them, and then there was Kiri Callaghan, and I want to read her books just because her energy was insane. I want her to be my best friend forever because I loved her. I loved her. So that was a really cool panel, and then I had like an hour and 15 in between, and this is when the food situation kind of occurred, where I realized, where is it at? I met a lot of indie authors. That was probably like the most chill and like best part. I had reserved a spot in the signing for Jasmine Gullery, which was absolutely amazing, and there ended up being no one in line when I went down there for her signing, which I was great because I was early, and so they just like scanned my little reservation QR code and let me in line, and so I got to like meet her. We had a very we had a conversation we had a conversation about her not seeing the book that I brought was Party of Two, but it was released in 2020, like, so she didn't get to see the original copy like of the book where there's like little sparkles on her dress. So we talked about the pandemic and how it ruined her being able to like see the original copy of this book. But in Party of Two, the girl becomes friends with someone named Jamilah, spelled the same way as mine. So I literally looked at her and I was like, thank you, because I felt seen. And it just felt weird to like be having a conversation with her because there was no one in line, so I had the time, and I almost started crying. I was so like overwhelmed. I was like, oh my goodness, like I'm having a conversation with a big author. I'm having a conversation with Jasmine Gullery. Like, what is happening right now? What is happening right now? And so after that, I peaked. I was like, we're good, we're done. We could pack it all up. Like, I'm good. It was worth the Yankee situation. Like, I'm not even mad about that anymore. Like, we're done. We're good. I have a little haul to show you, and I spent way more money than I anticipated, so that's disappointing. It felt good because in Seattle I was so stressed about buying like souvenirs for other people that I didn't really do much for myself. I got a magnet and a book. This go around I really focused on myself, and I'm so happy that I did that. So, oh my goodness, this isn't anything. This is not from Bookcon, but my first Broadway show, and it was so good. It was so good. If you live in New York or you visit New York whenever this video comes out, because by the time this video comes out, all the Bookcon discourse will be like done and people will have forgotten about it. So really I'm just re-triggering things, but this was so amazing. Oh my god, I would love to see it again. I went in knowing nothing, and I'm so happy because it went in a direction that I didn't know. The way they like twisted pop songs and just like incorporated like different versions of love stories, like whether it's family, romance, yourself, like they touched on all of it. It was fun, it was engaging. And now the people that sat on the mezzanine with me were lame. Oh my gosh, they were lame. You know, they were sitting there trying to just like wave our arms, and everyone was just looking around like they didn't want to. So it was like me and 4 other women just waving our arms. I wish I could film in shows, but I understand why we can't. Actually, the freaking theater security guy got somebody because they were filming. It was so good. If you love having a fun time and you love like classic pop songs, but like a little bit different, oh. So the books that I got are only from indie authors. So I got this book, Violet, by Brooke Harper, and you know what she gave me with this? I got a little flower crown. This is the t-shirt that I ended up buying because I was like hot and overstimmed. There's one that I wanted that said Dearest Gentle Reader, but they were like, we only have a 3XL left. And I was like, can I tuck it in and have like a little loose top moment? They were like, it would swallow you. And I was like, oh. So I got this one. I got this little Princess Diaries one, since there is another one coming out. A Violet Page is an indie author, and she was describing this book, and it was the best like elevator pitch of a book I ever heard. Both of my indie author books are signed too, so I'm like, again, I'm great. Even though Iron Flame sucked and I'm about to actually start reading Onyx Storm, I really liked Fourth Wing. I liked the original. I love Tarn and Endarna, so I had to. Asymmetrical Tarn and Endarna earrings. This was the second time I peeked. Lastly, there was like these cool like pins, and they were like huge pins. Well, she had like a mystery pack, and I hadn't opened it, so let's open it together. That is so cute. These suckers are huge. I'm so excited, bro. That is my debrief. That is my haul. That is me raving about Aunt Juliet. And now I'm going to lay back down, which is why I hadn't taken my bonnet off, because I was going to lay back down and kind of like truly relax a little bit. I hadn't done that since I got here.
How we gon' go like this? Talking about twice in a row like this. When you got mans out of flow like this. Acting out like you ain't know about. How we gon' go like this? It don't make sense that we roll like this. Now you got mans out of flow like this. Thought we was a team, yeah. Now we all out talking about it ain't work. We was on top, had this thing on lock. 10 a.m. shots in the web, tryna bounce back. Can I get a witness? How you gon' say that my business? When I broke things, didn't think it hurt like this. Think it feel like this. Lord, I need a witness. How we gon' play in a winning list? Now we got bodies on both sides of the fence. Stay playing the fence. What we gon' make of this year? Couldn't tell moms that we split. Couldn't go through how to risk it. How to put us up with some lease, yeah. What we gon' make of this year? Everyone knows that we split. Couldn't go through how to risk it. Finna go, man's finna go ghost, finna go ghost, pull up in your city with the roast, nah, brother finna do the most, tenant all the winners and the lows. I'm like, okay, you tell me I stutter, okay, you feeling Oscar, you play, okay, yeah. Can I get a witness? How you gon' say that my business?
Something like a chameleon at the party, tryna be everyone's type. Look what I started. Writing all of these love songs for somebody else. Posting all of these pictures so thou-hearted. Lost myself 1,000 times. Please, Lord, don't let it be 1,000 more. A broken angel in disguise. Still searching for the version of you at my core. I'll swear when I find you, I'll never let you go. I swear when I find you, about to look thick like a lace front. Got some more for healing. These scars from surgery, that's just my luck for being a woman. Oh, I tear myself into pieces just to keep the